Welcome everybody into the show. It is Thursday. The TV works. I'm Drew. This is Andrew. We're all thrilled to be here.
Absolutely.
We're happy to have you here. Thanks for tuning in, watching, listening, however you are taking us in. We appreciate you all.
Yes, sir.
Andrew, how you doing?
I'm doing, I got a chance to sleep in for the first time in a while. I was up to 16 hours now on sleep, so.
You got 16 hours of sleep?
Well, that's for total on the week.
Oh, that's
so not for. Are you kidding me?
Okay, that's
16 hours in a day. I'd kill for that right now.
I was gonna
yeah.
Jeez.
Well, listen, I might. I don't know actually. 16 hours sounds really nice right now.
Yeah.
But in total on the week right now, I'm up to 16.
16 hours straight.
Yeah. I got 4 today. I was great. It was actually kind of nice.
4 is great.
Yeah. I feel rested. I feel ready.
I'd just be sleeping at my computer right now.
I
kind of want to right now anyways, but
it could happen still.
Duty calls.
Yeah, I know it does. It does. Well, if it does happen, I understand completely.
Yeah.
But
well, I'll try
I want
not
you to be able to have your say, my friend.
There's some excitement.
There is.
Leading right into our first topic of the day.
Let's do it.
Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, baby.
Here we go. We have we're going to talk about 2 games real quick. The first game from 2 nights ago. Bulls beat the Nets 108-99. Zach LaVine, our player of the game in this one, scored 29 points, 20 of them in the fourth quarter.
That was impressive.
Very impressive from Zach.
That's earning your money there, Zach. That's what we're talking about.
Taking over the game at the end there is exactly what you want to see from this guy who just got paid.
Absolutely.
Along with his 29 points, he had 5 assists. He was 10 for 21 from the field and 5 of 11 from 3-point.
Yeah.
Starting with this game, first quick take on this game and what you saw from Zach here?
Well, not to give away too much because they're going to be the subject of the next thing up here. Obviously, there's a lot of dysfunction going on with Brooklyn, and it really showed. I think they played Brooklyn. They played Brooklyn the exact same way they did, if I'm not mistaken, last year when this was Kevin Durant and James Harden versus the Bulls, where they absolutely took away one guy and tried to let Kevin Durant basically beat them. And they took, although I would say Kyrie took himself out of the game somewhat himself as well.
What a bum. Can't wait to talk about that.
That's going to be fun. Yeah. That's going to be fun. But he just disappeared. I mean, at 4 points or something like that?
He didn't have his first field goal until the late in the third or the fourth. I think
so, yeah. It was, he went the whole half, didn't score anything. And you got to think, what's going on? Well, I think we know what's going on, but
after averaging somewhere around 30 points a game.
Yeah, he's been playing MVP Kyrie. Well, he's not an MVP, but at that level of wow, these guys are really playing on a hot hand. And obviously not having a certain somebody also in the lineup, I think, kind of hurt them. But he's kind of useless at this point, so it doesn't matter. But I like the way the Bulls played in this game. I think that shows that there's still the dominant edge to them. And again, the bench on this team is so good, so explosive, and so much fun to watch. Dragic is amazing.
A magician. Speaking of the bench, we'll just move on to the next game against Charlotte. And the bench was the story in this one.
Absolutely.
Because they dominated this game, and they were the reason that they won that game. Because DeRozan and Zach did not have great games.
No.
They weren't piss poor.
No.
You can't expect your guys to just score 30 points every night. It's not the way.
They were off.
This is why you have a bench to pick up the slack on those back-to-back nights,
and
like they talked about on the broadcast a ton last night.
Yeah.
You can't expect your stars to score big-time points every single night.
No, they're going to have slump nights.
Exactly.
It's going to happen.
That's when you rely on your bench and your backups, your reserves, and other players to pick up the slack, and that's exactly what happened in this one. They win 88-106. Okay?
Absolutely.
Player of the game here, Javonte Green, had a stellar game. He went 17 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 blocks, 7 for 7 on field goals, and 3 for 3 from 3
He was perfect.
He was awesome.
Yeah, God,
he was awesome.
He's outstanding.
And another player I want to touch on, which we've had concerns about developing and who is playing more aggressive basketball lately, is Patrick Williams. And you are seeing the difference in the way he started the season to these last handful of games where he's playing that aggressive ball and looking really good.
Yeah, I think you can see a drastic difference from where he was as a rookie to where he is now. There seems to be that change in mentality, that something's flipped a switch. And I like this. This is what you want to see.
21 years old, still.
Yeah.
21 years old,
still.
He's not even his body's not even fully developed.
No, and that's the crazy thing about it.
He has room to grow still.
He's not done until he's like 25, 26, and then some.
Not to mention missing most of last season. So
he's incredible.
It's been tough. And hopefully he can continue to progress in this fashion.
Yeah.
And keep looking better and better along these lines, and because that's what they need from him.
Absolutely. Well, and I like what the Bulls are doing now, even with the last 2 games now with their defense is get one guy that's going to be able to kind of make the shots and let him kind of take the game for that team and wall off everybody else. I like the way this defense is starting to play now. There's still some things that need to be fixed, obviously, but the way that they're starting to attack these teams, I think it's the right way to go, and I think it's what's kind of holding them up right now. So they're still a long season, but overall, I like the way that this team is playing on offense, and more than anything, especially, and with again that bench is just that having those veterans counts for so much. And Vooch didn't put up a lot of points in this game, but he once again does the rebound work, and he played decent defense down low. So
against having to do some of that against KD as well.
Yeah, and I like seeing that. I like the fact that he's retuning his game like we've been talking about to fit what the Bulls need. It's great to see, and it brings a smile to your face. It just has to.
I'm just very pleased with the Chicago Bulls team.
Absolutely.
A lot of concerns going into this season.
Of course.
Lonzo Ball being out, can they repeat? Is DeRozan still going to be that same guy? DeRozan's that same guy. That's who he is now.
Yeah.
This is who DeRozan is.
Yeah. And Io's picking up the slack for where Lonzo needs to be. It's not Lonzo, obviously, but he's filling in the job. He's doing the job. He's filling in that hole. He's putting in the work as that point guard, and he's scoring too. And he's scoring from 3. That is huge.
Io has been a diamond in the rough.
Absolutely.
Fine for the second round. And look at this. I'm not comparing him to, don't take this as a comparison whatsoever, because it's not. Just stating the fact that our GM, AK, is the one who's finding a player like Jokic in the second round. Now Io in the second round. This guy notices talent and has been able to find it.
Absolutely.
In all spots.
I can't wait for Simonovic to start popping.
I
got the good feelings now.
He's on the roster. Got to get him some minutes now.
Yeah, and everything we've seen though from the training camp and everything, he looked good.
Yeah.
So I think you get him in there. I think there's something special there that you can really work with.
Oh man, I hope so. Well, moving on to the other side of the Bulls and Nets, we're going to talk a little bit about the Nets and their previously stated dysfunction.
Oh boy,
Brooklyn's kind of blowing up right now, and not in a good way. Not in a good way at all.
Not when you're wearing that kind of stuff out there, I can tell you.
They find themselves in all kinds of drama this week between Steve Nash getting fired, Kyrie's situation.
Yep.
Oh, are they going to trade Durant now? No, they're not. Well, maybe they will. Who knows?
It is
just take off on this dysfunction and what you're seeing from these Nets.
Obviously, I mean, from where this thing starts, I mean, look, what's interesting is how we go all the way back to like after the bubble, right? Which that's when Kenny Atkinson was fired, and there was all the talk of, well, Jacques Vaughn's going to come in maybe and be the head coach. They hire Steve Nash. And it all really begins with that little podcast that we talked about, although, God, it's been over a year now since that thing hit, where Kyrie Irving goes, it's kind of like we don't have a head coach. Like, we don't really need a head coach. I could be a head coach. KD could be a head coach. And then Kevin Durant goes, Jacques Vaughn could be a head coach. No, he could have been your head coach had you guys just backed him like they said they were going to, or supposedly going to.
This is what happens when you... I agree with letting your star players in on the conversation.
Yeah, have them say a word.
This is what happens when you let them have too much input.
Yeah.
Way too much input.
Yeah.
Because then look at them wavering.
Right, yeah. This is the same thing as when Cleveland hired Freddie Kitchens. There was all that talk that's like, well, why'd they hire Kitchens? And then the story got out that they went to Baker Mayfield, second-year quarterback Baker Mayfield, mind you, and said, who do you like as the head coach? And they're like, I think Freddie Kitchens is pretty good. Why are you asking the second-year quarterback for his opinion on? I get he's the guy that you're like, he's our franchise, but like maybe not the guy to direct at and say, who do you think should be a good fit to be the head coach?
And guess what? Neither one of them are with the Browns anymore. So
one guy got fired a year later, and this guy, I mean, he's probably out of a job now again.
Can't even make it with the Panthers.
No, the XFL is calling you, my friend. I'm telling you. But
could be.
It felt like people have been saying it. It felt like it was a babysitting job from the beginning. Just hold it down. Don't wreck the car, right? That kind of thing. Just drive the bus and try not to drive it into a wall. Problem is, you've got two other people who are trying to grab the reins of that, wheel and are trying to steer it in different directions as well by the name of Kyrie and Kevin Durant. I'm sorry. They have just been the biggest reasons why this team has been on failure mode all year long and from last year. I mean, and from there, it's the controversy of, oh, well, you get James Harden, they're a playoff team. And then after that, Kyrie doesn't want to get the vaccine. And then you've got Kevin Durant getting hurt. James Harden's feelings are hurt because he was being called fat and now he can't play with his friends and now he gets traded. Ooh, Ben Simmons.
You're an NBA player. Stop eating cheeseburgers and work out.
Yeah, which, by the way, he fractured his foot now, so he might be out for a month. So. Yeah. It must be nice, Harden, collecting nice insurance benefits there. But and then they go into the play-in tournament, they win, and then they get swept by the Bucks, and now here we are. And like you said, the KD, I want to get traded, I don't want to get traded. Will we? Won't we? Anybody talking to Kyrie? Hey, he's not taking our phone calls. It dysfunctioned from the very beginning with that whole podcast, and now it's led to this moment.
And this moment, and the next player, we're really going to dive into a little more. One of Andrew's favorite players of all time, Kyrie Irving. We're going to start you off with a quick video and interview with Nick Friedel interviewing Kyrie on this whole anti-Semitic video he put out there and this whole situation with Kyrie that's kind of disgusting and just real awful situation. But take a listen and look at this video.
Kyrie, while we're on the topic of promotion, why did you decide to promote something that Alex Jones said?
That was a few weeks ago. I do not stand with Alex Jones' position, narrative, court case that he had with Sandy Hook, or any of the kids that felt like they had to relive trauma, or parents that had to relive trauma, or to be dismissive to all the lives that were lost during that tragic event. My post was a post from Alex Jones that he did in the early 90s or late 90s about secret societies in America of occults, and it's true. So I wasn't identifying with anything of being a campaignist for Alex Jones or anything. I was just there to post, and it's funny, and it's actually hilarious because out of all the things I posted that day, that was the one post that everyone chose to see. It just goes back to the way our world is and works. I'm not here to complain about it. I just exist.
And to follow up on the promotion of the movie and the book.
Can you please stop calling it a promotion? What am I promoting?
Put it out on your platform.
But I'm promoting it? Do you see me in front of the title? By
putting it out there, people are going to say that you are promoting.
Yeah, put it out there just like you put things out there, right?
Yeah, but it's not.
You put things out there for a living, right?
Right, but my stuff is not.
So let's move on.
Filled with anti-Semitic
Let's move on. Don't dehumanize me up here.
I'm not doing that.
Another human being. I can post whatever I want. So say that and shut it down and move on to the next question.
But Kyrie, you have to understand that I
don't have to understand anything from you.
It's not me.
Nothing.
It's
no people that you're making up, bro. Move on.
But by posting what you did.
Next question.
Anybody is going to look at it and they're going to say,
you guys have any more questions? Because this is going to be a clip. This is going to be a clip that he's going to marvel at. Is this any more questions?
But you're not answering the question.
Oh, this is another answering your question. Oh my God, let's make another Instagram clip so we could be famous again. Next question.
Wow. To me, that sounds like a guy that knows he did something wrong and stupid and is pissed off that everyone's calling him out for it. So he's just backpedaling and doesn't want to talk about it like a child.
Yeah.
Own your mistake. This is the you put all these posts out and this is that you're going to sit there and say this is the one that people go after? Yeah, because it's anti-Semitic, you moron. What do you think? You can't push, just like if anybody were to put, a racist tweet out about any other race, color situation like that, yes, people are going to focus on that because it's not okay.
Yeah.
And he sounds like a little child not wanting to talk about it. Guess what? You're a professional athlete making millions of dollars. You're on a platform. You have the platform to say and speak your mind and do whatever you want. Yeah, fine. But at the same time, when you put things out like this, you're going to have backlash and you're going to have to answer questions about it. Grow up. Own your spot.
He's so devoid of reality. It's amazing sometimes. This Kyrie, let's talk, man. Let's talk. Because this has been going on for what now? This is almost his entire career, where every time he gets caught up in drama, it suddenly is, it's not my fault. I'm not backing down. He completely envelops on that idea of the no regrets. I'm not taking my responsibilities for it, because what do I have to regret for? He even said, he's like, I won't stand down from this. I'm not backing down. What do I have to back down from this? You know? Well, I don't know the fact that you tweeted out.
Pathetic.
Yeah, you tweeted out a link to a movie that, if you were to ask the Rolling Stones, it was filled with anti-Semitic tropes. And then, oh, by the way, this happened too. This tweet was since deleted. Good old Kanye West posting up a picture. You want to talk about promotion? What do you think that's promoting? It ain't promoting basketball, I don't think. I'm pretty sure that's Kanye West promoting Kyrie Irving, probably saying, like, good on this man. Because I don't know. Look, we're not that pop culture show, but if you haven't heard, obviously, Kanye West had some pretty disgusting things to say on air during an interview with Tucker Carlson. I really don't want to repeat it. I mean, you can say it wasn't too bad, but I'd rather just not. It's anti-Semitic rhetoric that he was using, because it's just that same old. I'm forgetting the word for it now, but you've heard it a million times. Stereotype. It's the stereotype that's used all the time. And this movie that Kyrie Irving supposedly saw, he says he saw it. So I'm going to go ahead and say, so he saw the movie and then is promoting out there, because when you put it on your Twitter, guess what, Kyrie? You are a public image person. You are in the public eye for millions of people. So you are promoting it by putting it on your Twitter, as we would do with anything else, right? When I put the show on my Facebook, I am promoting the show. When Drew puts something out there like a movie or a music video, we are promoting it to say, hey, take a look at this. Maybe you should have followed up that tweet with saying, boy, this is really disgusting, if you really didn't mean for it to come off as you promoting it. Because now the only assumption that people are going to have for you is that you clearly believe what this movie's saying. Which it went over, the Holocaust isn't real. It said that Jewish people control the media. They have control over the money markets. I didn't watch the film. All I'm saying is this is like the little things that people have said have been dissected from it. It is disgusting. It's egregious. It's ridiculous. And of course you put yourself in the middle of this. And of course you won't own up to it. You're self-entitled, you're egotistical, and you believe that you are the center of the universe, just as Kanye West does, just as Antonio Brown does, because you don't want to own up to your responsibilities. And that is a problem.
If you don't want to have to explain yourself ever, then leave the NBA. Go get a regular job. You can do and say whatever you want, and nobody's going to care.
Yeah. See how that works out.
You have no platform then.
See how that works out. See what happens if the regular person would have put this tweet out. Guarantee you they're getting fired from their job. Just like if you get recorded in a Starbucks yelling at an employee saying, a slur to them, you're probably losing your job. Or if you act even rude to them, you most likely are losing your job. But of course, Kyrie, because he's a high-level pro athlete who has a lot of money and a lot of backing behind him, of course he's not going to be punished in the same way that other people are. Now, I guess the good thing is that I guess he finally admitted guilt. But he didn't do it in a way that said, I'm sorry, I apologize.
He didn't apologize.
No.
And specifically, probably the best commissioner in all of professional sports,
Absolutely.
and Adam Silver, was very disappointed that he didn't apologize.
Yes.
So you can admit you're wrong all you want, but if you don't have any remorse for the disgusting actions that you've had, then you don't really feel that.
I mean, for a guy that promotes himself as a person who has been about, I want to help people, right? He gives back to his community, and he wants to help black culture and the black community and everything like that. But for everything that he says he stands for wanting to see peace and love and all that stuff, boy, this sure does hit the other side of the coin real quick. And that looks real bad for you, as in, I do all this good stuff, and then, yeah, but you do all these other, and you say all these other things, and here you are promoting this movie, and the Alex Jones thing at the same time, too. Look, that might just be Kyrie just being Kyrie with he's like, you heard it. He's like, it's all about the occult and all that stuff, and he goes, it's true. That just kind of says where his mind's at. That just kind of tells you like where he's at in that mental space, that he believes what he's going to believe. It's his facts, not the facts. It's his facts, the alternative facts, right? Isn't that what gets used a lot? The alternative facts. It's the same thing as I hear when it's a false positive. People get drug tested. Oh, it's a false positive. How the hell is it a false positive? It's either positive or not. It's
You're on drugs or you're not.
Yeah, it's unbelievable that Kyrie Irving thinks is on this level of thinking that he's just completely out of the realm of our universe, that he's like, yeah, this is okay. I don't have to apologize for this.
Well, I mean, according to him, the world is flat. So
yes. And now he
if
is. If
that doesn't sum it up for you, I don't know what could.
He is paying $500,000 to fight discrimination along with the NBA, which is good. That's good. But I wish they would have said it's a fine. We're fining him this, and then we're using that money to donate, because then that is a punishment to him. This is not a punishment. This is like, look, you do this to save face. That's what this comes off as, to me at least. I don't know. You could call it a punishment, sure, but I'm not hearing he was fined. I'm hearing he's planning on donating with the NBA. That's like, here's something to give back. Yeah,
to make it sound like maybe it's his idea to help work himself out of this mess. Yeah. But $500,000 isn't.
That's a good chunk of change
around that in his wallet.
That's a good chunk of change, but he's made
But to him, it's not.
No, he's made over $50 million at this point in his career, and he's going to probably make close to about $100 million or so. But I am glad to hear that. I think I heard he lost his Nike deal now. I'm glad to see these companies are separating from, like they did with Kanye, right?
Yeah.
Man said, Adidas will never drop me. Oh, yeah? They're losing $10 billion in total on his whole deal, Kanye's deal. They dropped him in a second. What do you think they're going to do to you, Kyrie? Nike don't care. Nike don't care.
Nike doesn't need you.
No.
They still have MJ.
I was going to say. They got LeBron, they got MJ. I think they're doing okay. He's just in that. He's on Pluto and thinks he's on the real Earth. I don't know what else I can say for him other than Godspeed to Kevin Durant.
I've got nothing else to say about him, but one thing I want to say to you is, you ready for it? Okay, deep breath.
Woosah. Okay.
Feel better?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. All right.
Well, we're done with you, Kyrie.
We're done with
At
that.
least for now, until the next stupid thing you do.
Yes.
But also with these Brooklyn Nets, they have, like we had stated earlier, they have fired the head coach. Well, they agreed, Steve Nash.
Mutually
agreed to part ways with the Brooklyn Nets.
Yes.
And coming next with that, the Nets have said, which their owner has come and said that, no, they haven't made a decision yet, but there have been talks that they are going to hire suspended Celtics head coach Ime Udoka as their next head coach, which I don't even know how this is possible. Even though he's suspended, he's still under contract.
I think they've cut ties with him.
They have.
I think from what I've heard from around the sources and everything, it sounds like the Celtics are just like, take him, which is concerning. Because why would you hire a guy that just got cut after he made the finals?
I think part of that with the Celtics is after the fact of that whole situation that came out, they have found texts that were less than appealing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's more information, it sounds like, coming out.
Like
from this
some scummy Dan Snyder's type stuff.
Yeah, it does
coming
not
from
sound,
this guy to women in the organization.
It does not sound pretty with this.
Does not sound good at all. So even after the run they went on, making it to the finals, props to the Celtics for dropping this dude quick.
Absolutely. And I mean, look, they're to the Celtics just real quick. I mean, they're still doing fine. They're still hanging on strong, which shows that team chemistry they've had since that 2018 run when Jason Tatum was a rookie. That goes to prove that that's really hanging this team together. That's what's really keeping this thing together. I don't know if they're going to win a championship, but they've got a better chance. They still got as good a chance now as they did last year.
Right.
But
Durant says he was shocked at this. Do you think he really is shocked at it?
no, not even a little bit. Here's the thing. Why would Steve Nash leave the Nets is something I saw people saying consistently. Like, why would he want to?
Well,
why do you think he would leave the Nets?
what I heard on the radio, I forget who was saying it.
Yeah.
But somebody they knew had seen Steve Nash at some point. Maybe it was over the summer or what.
Okay.
But ran into Steve Nash and was talking to him about the team and how does it going? How do you like it?
Yeah.
And he was honest with him and said it was awful. Whether it's true or not, who knows? But he said it was awful. It's a terrible job, and he doesn't like being a part of it.
I mean, and look at what it was. Look at what, like you said, all the drama that's happened in the time span he's been there.
And
in the time span
continued
he's
to
been
happen.
there. Yeah. It's insane. Like, I'm surprised he lasted this long. I would have broke my nerve a long time ago. And yes, that man in the colored Skittles jacket doesn't help at all, but he doesn't do anything. So we don't really have to worry about him too much. But the combination of Kevin Durant, who's so worried about what everyone's thinking, and Kyrie Irving, who's clearly like, we already just said all our stuff on him. When you put those two together, that's enough to say to you, I'm out. I'm washing my hands of this. I'm out. And yet those are the two guys that were like, we want him. We want him. Like,
yeah.
KD was like, that's your guy from Golden State. That was your dude you were working with. What happened? And then all of a sudden you turned on him in the offseason. You're like, yeah, he's got to go. He and or Sean Marks have to go. What was the breakdown in this? And I'm surprised Steve Nash was even the head coach to the season start.
Right.
If I was him, if I would have heard, well, it's him or me. Okay, well, I'm leaving then because this is going to be ridiculous because clearly he has an issue with me. It doesn't make sense why the Nets. And then the thing on getting Ime Udoka, why would you go for more drama?
I don't know.
Why would you? I mean, at this point, then you're just what, the drama circus? Is that what you're going for?
The organization already has a bad look.
Let's bring back Ron Artest and Latrell Sprewell, too.
You hire this guy as your head coach, and you're going to have an even worse look for your team.
Yeah. You want to bring on Josh Primo, too? The guy from the Spurs that's now getting sued because he exposed himself to a therapist. That's another guy you can bring into your little jumbo mess. Come on, bring them all on. Let's go. Let's make the Nets the craziest team in NBA. We'll make a 30 for 30 out of it. It'll be great. They are terrible. This may be the worst organization. They may need to go back to New Jersey.
You need another deep breath. Well, good.
Okay.
Because we're going to, just like Kyrie Irving's mouth and his Twitter account, we've got no breaks on this show.
That's true, yeah.
Just like his mouth, no
Absolutely.
breaks. So we're going to move on to we'll see if we're all going to find out together.
Yeah, we will.
Whether this is a good topic, good subject head to talk about or not.
Yeah.
Because we are talking about your White Sox and their new hire for manager of your baseball team. The White Sox hire Pedro Grifol as their new manager.
Yep.
He was with the Kansas City Royals since 2013 as catching, quality hitting, and bench coach.
Yep.
Was with the World Series team when the Kansas City Royals won.
Absolutely.
What do you think? Are you happy with this guy? Did you wish they would have gone elsewhere? Are you unsure? Because you got a totally different Rick Hahn today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, this was
announcing this.
This guy was
as
happy.
He put it, he was gushing.
Look at that. Look at that photo. That's a happy Rick Hahn. I mean, it is. But you should. If we could have gotten video, I wish we could have. But he was, like you said,
Smiling
gushing, smiling. He was so happy because I think this is his guy.
Oh,
right?
It's his guy.
It's his guy. Now, and I think AJ Hinch was his guy, but obviously that got superseded by somebody. So now he's getting to choose the guy that he wants.
He even admitted in his press conference, he started that thing off by saying, well, everyone knows that I haven't been very happy for the last year.
Yes.
Like said
That's
that.
right.
It's like everybody knows why.
I think we understand what the problem was. You know what? I don't know much about Grifol other than kind of looking into his history more. I do like the fact that he's kind of worked through every position you can kind of work within the organization for Kansas City. I do like his little work with the Seattle Mariners. That says working as a minor league manager and as the head of minor league operations, it means you can see the talent. You're looking at what guys have. You notice who's got what. So I like that. I like that there's an aspect to him understanding. He built Salvador Perez, the catcher for the Kansas City Royals, into a perennial, all-star, making Golden Gloves and everything. And obviously they won a World Series, and he was a big part of helping those guys out. Perez has come out and said he was a huge reason why he was able to improve so much. I remain skeptical yet optimistic all in the same time. I like the fact, though, that Rick is excited about this, because that says to me that they will work together to build the right team the way they want to, the way they need to. And what they're potentially adding now to the coaching staff as well, I think is good too. They're adding Charlie Montoyo, a former manager for the Blue Jays. He'll be now the bench coach for the White Sox. And I think that's great. Get a guy that has some managerial position or experience on the bench coach, work with him. That's your 1-2 combo now to kind of work off each other and get this locker room in order. Bring the energy, bring some excitement. These guys, you can see, talking in the conference, Grifol has a little bit of spark of enthusiasm. He's got a smile on his face. He's ready to work. He wants to go.
Great communicator from all accounts.
Montoyo is one of those guys I love because he'll jump out of you hit a big home run, he'll jump out of the dugout to go and hug you. Like, he's that kind of a guy. That's what I want to see for the White Sox as a fan. I want to see them have that energy in the locker room like we've seen them have before. They had it, but they had a manager, I think, that pulled it out of them drastically because he didn't bring anything to the table on that. It was dad watching over the kids, wanting to sit in the couch and watch TV. These are the guys that's like, you want to go to the park? You want to play some baseball? You want to go do things? Yeah, we want to go do things. I'm skeptical, but I remain optimistic. I'm just glad that Han is like, I got my guy. And if you got your guy, then I trust the GM to do the right things and help his manager out.
Absolutely. It's hard to tell. Why wasn't this guy ever up for a job sooner? Why didn't Kansas City want him for their position or a position there?
Mm-hmm. I guess he was being interviewed, but he never was the solid candidate. I would have loved Joe Espada, but he was clearly this guy that kind of like fell on the way out. I'm very glad that they didn't go with Ozzie. I love Ozzie to death, but Ozzie Guillen is just kind of in that moment where just be the guy on TV. It's okay. We love you on TV, Ozzie. We really do. You don't have to come back to managing. It's okay. We had the old man manager, and it really didn't work. So I like this move. I will remain skeptical, but yet at the same time, like I said, I will be enthusiastic.
Yeah, and just like any move like this, time will tell.
Yeah.
So we will find out. Organization seems to be pretty hyped up about it, so that's always a good start. So.
And there's some free agents out there, so open up the wallet. Let's go start spending.
Yeah, again.
Please.
Along with that as well, time will tell.
Yeah, both of these Chicago teams need to open it up. Let's go.
And the X-Bomb car goes skirt, skirt, no brakes.
Nope.
And we're moving right into this college football week 10 review to start.
Mm-hmm.
So we got all of our games from last week posted up here. Let's see what's. Oh yeah, okay, it's there. Go ahead, pick out some games. What'd you think of the week?
Let's start with yours because I want to talk.
Oh
about
wow, now you want to start with Michigan?
God.
Wow,
so overdramatic.
What my
good acting job.
My
there.
My mind is spinning.
Oscar worthy.
Let's start with Michigan. He says.
Yes.
Since when?
Well, since there was a fight.
Oh, I know when he wanted to start with Michigan. When it's like, biggest losses. What was that? Biggest upsets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, they beat. I said by 21 points, and they did it. They did it. So called it.
Thank
you. I appreciate it.
I'll pat you on the back, too.
Yeah, I know what that means. All right. Now, look, I thought that Michigan State certainly came to play there at the beginning, but obviously Blake Corum he's incredible. He and Donovan Edwards are a 1-2 punch that I think there's not many college teams I think that are going to be able to stop them at this point. They do so many great things at times. The whole fighting in the tunnel thing.
What a bunch of bums.
Listen,
arrest them.
Don't don't yell things at maybe the other team, but also why does the other team feel the need to all of a sudden start a fight against two guys? It's 30 versus 2.
Dude
Come
was
on.
swinging his helmet like a weapon.
Yeah. And we've seen that
Over
before.
and over and over again at the dude.
Yeah, and we've seen that multiple times before already. So this,
If I went and bought a football helmet and started a fight with somebody and started swinging at him, I'd be in jail.
that's a lethal weapon by
Jail.
technicality.
You could literally kill somebody with that.
That was God.
That's
But-
why Michigan State's full of a bunch of bums.
And they lost pretty badly. Tennessee whooping that ass against Kentucky. There's no other way to put it.
That I did call too.
I thought it would be more of a
not by
shootout.
that big of a margin.
No,
but
I thought it would be more. I thought Will Levis would have more of a shootout, but this is where Tennessee is really looking like a very complete team. They took a first-round pick quarterback. I still think Will Levis can be that guy, and they really just shut him down. I'm sorry, David. Penn State
I thought
tried.
they were hanging in there for a while.
He texted me and he goes, I swear, if Sean Clifford throws one more goddamn interception, I'm like, they're keeping it close though. And I think they were only down by like 6 at that point. And then that's when Ohio State was like, unleash the beast.
Yeah.
And they just completely overtook the game.
Stupid Ohio State.
Yeah, I know. You're going to get your shot at them though soon.
Burn in hell.
2 weeks, right?
Them and Notre Dame.
In 2
I
weeks.
was really hoping they were going to lose.
Yeah, that was a shocker.
Surprised by the effort that they put forth against a tough defense.
Now, I will say their starting quarterback, Schrader, he went down with an injury. That, I think, was a big problem for them because he's a big part of that offense.
Yeah,
so
that'll do it.
But Notre Dame, I'll give them some props. Some props. They got to win. They got the win. Now, I know you won't, but they got to win over a ranked team. I will say A&M looked better with the freshman quarterback. I don't know why it took him this long to finally play the dude. He threw 4 touchdowns in his first game against Ole Miss, who has a very top-ranked defense.
Oklahoma State not scoring a point.
I love that game. I don't know what it was. Something about I was just like watching. I'm like I'm happy for
picked.
Yeah, well, I was happy for Kansas State. I didn't think it was going to be that.
Their quarterback is a beast.
That wasn't even their starter.
He's a beast.
He's a backup, and he threw 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
This week, I mean, there are other games that happened outside of these, but this week was crazy. This is why, again, the transfer portal is really good. This is why it needs to happen more. This is what makes college football so much. I mean, you saw Arizona. Arizona was right there with USC.
Yep.
That was a fun game. That's the transfer from Washington State coming in and playing against USC. God, I love watching the college. This has been one of the more fun years for college football, I got to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
This has been great.
Well, with all of those wonderful games from last week, we are going to bring in some wonderful games this week. Well, not all of them are wonderful because there's definitely one missing.
You know what? I don't really want to talk about this week, actually. Because
Welcome into the All Michigan Football Show. I will be here along with myself because no one else is here at the desk.
We could bring in Tom's wife, Sarah. She's a Michigan fan.
Yeah. At least somebody will want to talk about it because it's not you.
Okay.
Yeah.
26-point favorites against Rutgers, folks. You think it goes on the list?
XB Sports Official asked Andrew why he hates Michigan and myself so much.
That's right. I'm a Buckeye fan, true to heart, folks.
Yeah. What a dick. Well, we're going to dive right in to the pick 6.
Let's do it.
And with that, we have our first game.
Yeah.
We have Baylor 5-3 at Oklahoma, also 5-3.
Yep.
Spread is Oklahoma minus 3.5. Yeah, let's talk about 2 crap teams. 2 crap teams. Well, but they're both 5-3, so should be a good clash.
That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah. Oh,
there's not many ranked games in this.
There was a college football game this year where Oklahoma scored 0 points.
That's true, but that was when the quarterback was out. He's not out though.
That's fine. Let's talk about him now though.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Spread is Oklahoma minus 3.5 over under 61.5. Where are you going here?
I think I'm actually. Oh God. I think I'll go with Oklahoma, but I'm only going to take them by 1.5 because Baylor has had its moments where they look pretty good. I think their defense is actually a lot better than maybe what they've played against some of these other teams. So I'll take Oklahoma by only like 1.5, and I think I'm going to take the under on this game. I don't know if they're going to necessarily be able to score at will on each other like we've seen before with the Big 12. So Oklahoma by 1.5, and yeah, I'll say the under.
I am with you on Oklahoma. I'll say 3 points.
Okay.
And I'm with you on the under as well. Again, you're not totally sure what you're going to get.
What
0
teams are
points.
we getting?
Yeah, we're getting 0 points out of Oklahoma, or
I think with Dylan Gabriel in there, I think there's a good chance that this is going to be a good scoring game, but I don't know how it's going to be a high scoring one.
Yeah. So, all right, moving on to Slobber Knocker, probably game of the week. One for the ages, maybe.
Yeah.
I sure hope so.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, Tennessee, 8-0 at number 3, Georgia, also 8-0. Spread is Georgia -8, over under 66. Georgia -8, but we're going to throw them at 3 in the rankings.
Would you like to talk about the rankings?
No.
Okay.
No.
I guess it's not
5?
TJ.
5?
I guess it may not be happening. You want to show it? I mean, we can, but you certainly made your feelings known.
We'll get to the end of
Yeah,
this.
we'll do the at the end there. We'll do that.
Tennessee or Georgia at -8, over under 66. Who you got here?
So I picked this game at the very beginning of the week on Monday. It was at a -9. It has since moved down. It moved down a full point in 2 days. So I'm going to actually take Tennessee on this. I'm going to take Tennessee by 2. Keeping it close. This is still Georgia. We know their defense. I don't want to disrespect Mr. Stetson Bennett, but he hasn't played at a high level this year, really.
Right.
Meanwhile, we're looking at Hendon Hooker. I didn't realize Hendon Hooker is like almost 25 years old.
Wow.
This is one of those few teams where we got 20, or no, he's 24 and Stetson Bennett's 25. This is an old man's quarterback in college battle. I'm taking Tennessee by 2. Oh, that's a big number. I think it just hits the under. Like, it could hit the over, but I think it just sneaks underneath because Georgia will score its points. But I think Tennessee, they look like I said, they look like a very complete team right now. I don't know who can stop them.
Yeah, very true. Man, this one's tough.
It is.
It's very tough. I like what I've seen, the explosion from Tennessee just on offense. It's as good as Georgia's defense is.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll still be able to put up points.
Yeah.
I think they get the win. I'm gonna say by a field goal.
Okay.
And I feel like it's gonna come down to the wire, come down to the end.
I think it's going to probably be game of the week.
For sure. Not as many points between them and Alabama.
Yeah.
But I think they just squeak it out, and I'm gonna take the under.
Okay. All right.
Next, we have
let's not talk about this.
We have the aforementioned number 6 Alabama at 7-1, at number 10 LSU. Who would have thunk at 6-2? Spread is Alabama -13.5, over under 58.
Do I dare? Do I even dare? Every week I pick them to lose.
Yeah, every week, yeah, because we talk about your team every week. Doesn't matter who they're playing. See that? See what happened? Every week I pick them because every week we're talking about who's team.
Digging the knife, twist and turn.
Why don't you just talk about your team a little more?
If I say they win, they're gonna lose, and if I say they lose, they're probably gonna win. So I don't know how to do this.
They're not gonna win.
You know what? I say they're not gonna win. I will say Bama wins this one by probably a full touchdown.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. Okay. And I will. I say this knowing I want them to win. Okay, I am an LSU fan. It's just I don't know where this team's at. I'm very confused. Okay. They shouldn't be winning, but they are. I'm surprised they beat Ole Miss the way they did. But I'll say Bama by a touchdown, and I think this can hit the over. I will say I've been impressed with Jaden Daniels, who I think is very similar in a lot of skill sets to like Justin Fields in a lot of ways. Like he's got that kind of motor that can run it as well as throw it. So, Bama by a touchdown, and I think it hits the over.
I am with you on Alabama winning. I'm going to say by 2 full touchdowns.
Damn.
And I'm also going to take the over. I think they can score some points here.
This should be a fun game, but I don't expect
14-point losses.
I'm not expecting an upset. Trust me, I'm not.
Next, we have number 24 Texas 5-3 at number 13 Kansas State University at 6-2. Spread is Texas -3, over under 54.5.
Oh, man, this is tough. It really is. I'm going to take Texas. I'm going to actually take Texas on the 3. And I think I'm going to take what Kansas State team are we getting? That's the question. I think I'll take the over on this because I don't know what quarterback they're going to start. Adrian Martinez was actually healthy when they played
They're
Howard.
mum on the starter.
Yes,
right
they have not said anything. So I still think I'll say Texas on the 3. I'll say the over. This could be a fun game, though. If we're seeing the same thing we saw last week, I think Texas has a much better offense than Oklahoma State. So I think they can definitely push this one. This can be a very close game and be a very fun game. So that's where I'll sit.
After last week, I'm not going against Kansas State. That's for sure. I'm going to take them by 3, and I will take the over.
All right.
Next, we have number 4, Clemson, 8-0 at crappy Notre Dame, 5-3. Spread is Clemson -3.5, over under 44.
I'm taking Clemson. My boy DJ, I know he kind of stumbled a little bit over the last week, but I still think he's a very good quarterback. They're not moving him from the starting spot. I think that's a good thing. I think he's starting to develop with those weapons more with Collins and Ngata. So I expect him to be able to throw the ball really well over Notre Dame. I expect them to pressure him. So I will say Clemson. I'll say Clemson, but I'll give him 4.5. I'll give him just one more point on it. And I will say, I think this hits the over, but just over. Like, it won't be by too much. 50 maybe at the most.
I'm going to take Clemson here. I'm going to take them by 10. Screw Notre Dame.
I figured.
And I'm going to take the over here. I think they can score enough to get there.
Absolutely.
All right, the last one we have is FSU at 5-3 at Miami, 4-4.
Yep.
Battle of Florida.
Absolutely.
Spread, Florida State -7.5, over under 53.
I think I'm going to go with Miami on this one.
You know what I'm going to go with? I don't care.
I'm going to go with Miami on this one. Tyler Van Dyke, I think, is a real deal quarterback. I don't know if he's going to be a first-round pick, but I think he's got the talent to be able to play at the next level. So I think he's the better quarterback between him and Jordan Travis. So I'll take Miami. I'll take Miami by 3.5, I think. And I'm going to take the under on this because both have pretty decent defenses now. Like they've gotten better. So that's where I'll land.
I'm going to go with Florida State on this one. I'm going to say by a touchdown. And I think these teams aren't very good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to take the under.
Okay. All right.
And that's all we have for you on our Pick 6.
Yes, sir.
And that's all we have for the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's football. It's baseball. We got a whole lot going on. So, Andrew, shout out your socials and shows and what you want people to know.
Oh, of course. Well, before that, if I may, I didn't get a chance to say this. Just real quick, Boy King B-Mac had the opportunity to message us. So, real quick, I'll just say for my boy King B-Mac, he said $500K is a punishment for Kyrie the same way if you grab a handful of change out of the center console of my car. That's pretty good. And he said, yeah, I'll be mad. You took my money, but I won't even know how much is in there. So I really didn't miss it. So yeah, thank you, King BMX. Sorry we missed that. Just very fiery conversation. So, but appreciate your comments.
Absolutely.
Real quick, you guys can find me at DFlowFigure on Twitter. You can always find me at Boom Crew Captain on Instagram. I am always here on the show, X-Bomb Sports, Wednesdays and Thursdays. Hosting, co-hosting when Drew's up here hosting and doing his thing. Also find me on Blow the Whistle doing the radio thing on Mondays, 2 to 4 p.m. Central Time, sportsdownchicago.com. That's it.
And you can find me right here on Wednesdays, Thursdays doing our thing on this wonderful show we have for you every week. Check me out on Instagram at d.gwil25 and Facebook at Drew Gwillem. Mm-hmm. Okay. Since we have a wonderful TV here, though,
you can see them.
It's excellent. We're gonna run down everything wonderful. You check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Mm-hmm. We're all out there. It's
absolutely
all the same. Come and find us right here. Try to for 5:30, 6:30 around there. Doing great shows full of wonderful sports talk that you all love so much. You can see Andrew's head spin off his body because I give him so much crap about never talking about Michigan
in 2 weeks.
And if you would like to email him about why he hates me and Michigan so much, xbsportsofficial@gmail.com.
He's got 2 weeks are coming, folks. He's got 2 big games coming up.
Every time I host and he just decides to throw shade at Michigan, I'm going to.
You realize you're going to be
talk a
hosting.
bunch of crap.
You're going to be hosting on the show where the game is going to be taking place, right?
Oh, I'm still going to give you crap.
I know you are. I know.
Because you
I
know
what's going to happen.
Then it's going to be like, oh my God, we're finally talking about
We
him.
can't change the dynamic
No,
in this.
it'll never change.
That's why I love you, buddy.
Anything I can do to help. All right. Now we have some wonderful shows for everybody to check out. We are going to start with Blow the Whistle. SportsTownChicago.com. Listen to them every Monday, 2 to 4 p.m. Doing great work there. Along with that, they do their shows right here at the TV studio desk. Also great work. Check them out. You get to see their beautiful faces for a change.
Yes.
Check out Brandon Januska on 94.3 WMKR. Greatest country music if you like that kind of thing.
Yeehaw.
Not for me. I prefer baseball banter with Brandon, talking about all the wonderful baseball news. I'm sure he'll be talking about the new Sox hire and what it may mean for the team going forward.
Dude, you better call me for that. Come on.
Brandon.
Come on, man.
Somebody wants to talk about it.
You know you want to talk about it. I want to talk about it with you.
Monday motivation with Hannah B. Mondays suck. Trouble for a lot of people to get moving, get motivated.
Absolutely.
Hannah B, Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Check her out there. Great interviews with a lot of talent around the city.
Yes, sir.
And elsewhere, nationwide. Also with her, she is on 102.3 XLC doing the afternoon drive from 3 to 7 p.m. Still on the air for another 15 minutes. Check her out. Great work there. Along with that, she is all over the place.
Yeah.
And doing the morning drive.
Yeah. Is this the what?
Yeah,
Yes,
96.7 with Eddie Volkman.
Absolutely.
Old Eddie and Jobo. And loving every bit of it.
Absolutely.
So she does some great work. Check her out there. Also, check out our guys, Tony Lopez, also known as T-Lo, and 15-year vet Kendall Gill, talking about combat sports on the Parlay, theparlay.com.
Yes,
they do
sir.
great work. Talking about how much of a punk Jake Paul is, why he
Just
chooses
fight
to
a real
fight old,
boxer.
retired MMA fighters and never fight a boxer.
Fight a real
You're
boxer.
softer than baby poo.
Do it.
Yes, do it. Quit being a bum.
Not Canelo, by the way, because he's going to kill you.
I mean, that's fine.
Come on.
I want to see.
If you want to fight Canelo, by all means.
a boxer,
But come on, man. Let's let Kendall Gill get a
let's
shot.
see him get his ass kicked by Kendall Gill.
Yeah,
first.
absolutely.
But with that, we are going to get the hell out of here. We're going to go watch some sports, and we're
Yes,
going to
sir.
eat some fantastic food from wherever we choose. Not sure yet. I got to run back to Walmart because I forgot toilet paper. So that's my hell.
You can take some from here.
No, I like soft stuff.
Sharp.
I've got to use sandpaper at work all day, okay? Which I guess makes sense coming from the place. It's the torture chamber. So I'm going to go get some soft stuff and then head home. So thank you all for being here. We appreciate you. We couldn't do this wonderful show without anybody out there listening. We could, but what's the point?
Yep.
So thank you. We'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. And we'll check you all out next weekend. All right, here on the X-Bomb Sports Live Show.